Give it up for Pay-treeoddtic, y'all.
What's up, y'all? Woo, thank you, my brother. So, first I want to thank Mike and Marvin for giving me the opportunity, for giving all of us the opportunity to, have this platform to share our art, first and foremost. So, what I want, my name is Pay-treeoddtic Thought, and you'll see as I do my recital where the name derives. So what I want to do is I need a little crowd participation. I'm gonna hold up a flashcard, and that flashcard is gonna basically tell you the name of the poem. Or for example, this is the name of my recital. So you can read this out loud. Thank you. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is, after you read that out loud, then I'm gonna do the poem, and on the back side of my flashcard is sort of a symbol of what the poem is about, or something, what it personifies. So let's go. It's fickle, it's fake, it's heartache, it's heartbreak, it's bellyache, it's the hard to make and the fucking best, the best I ever had, like Drake love. It's the kind of love we love because we love to love. It's the kind where your heart becomes the mastermind, rendering your mind and behind deaf, dumb, and blind. It's the kind I consider a crime, and I ain't trying to catch a case. So I look to the skies, into the eyes of my forebears. They gain ground using prayer versus warfare. G to the R to the I to the M is what I am. So I'ma shift gears. Not one, not two, not three, 400 stolen years. Fuck the cursed past, the thirst for first class. You thought the worst pass until you saw that hearse pass. God damn, what's it take to get a Negro woke? We all saw Eric Gardner getting choked. We all saw Walter Scott getting shot, and getting shot, and getting shot, and shot, and shot on television every night. They didn't put up a fight. The police still took their life. And it never would have happened if their skin was white. Dylan Roof, Burger King, Bible study night. Still, the Negro was in love. We live with other people's wrongs and we die for other people's rights. We die for crumbs and we live to break bread. And with our hand placed over our collective heart, like Uncle Remus, the Negro's pledge. America, I love you so. Our blood, our melanin, and our nature always and forever set the standard for what's known simply as cool. Shackled over an ocean and submerged in a pool full of vultures, appropriating our culture and stealing our jewels. Never showing the contrite that goes with feeling guilt. Kidnap me is not the way relationships are built. Enslave me is not the way to build a loving bond. Strip me of my humanity, then tell me to be calm. The connection's poor, so let me make this clear. Not one, not two, not three, 400 brutal years. James Baldwin said it takes a brute to brutalize. We live in the past, so happy 4th of July. Give me liberty or give me death was the battle cry of a mythical land with the hypocritical plan to join the fruits of his contraband. Aunt Jemima and apple pie. So God help me, does black life really matter? Because that's how I'm getting down. Rocking a hoodie, sipping a Long Island iced tea to stand on my ground. On the strength of Trayvon Martin, I'm going pound for pound. The land of milk and honey, a soil stench battleground. But good old Uncle Remus, he's head over heels, so he bows his processed hair. And with a chicken-eating grin, the Negro declares, America, I love you so. Against all odds, here we are, the survivors of the Middle Passage. Someone pass me a lighter and tell James Baldwin the fire next time is now. So now it's time to light the fire. A nation built on lies that exploits my people's cries. Video after video we're told, don't believe your eyes. So the natives close their eyes and they open their forgiving hearts. Now all that's remembered are the forgotten parts. The birth of a nation. Do you have reservations? Not one, not two, not three, 400 years of patience? Our emancipation turned to mass incarceration. Can't find my generation. Time for the celebration. So you want your country back? Deplorables with guns, guard, and alternative facts? I'll take the train from Baltimore to Ferguson to help keep all my niggas on track. Every January, we celebrate the dreamer of the impossible dream's birthday. His nonviolent rise made America see red, drew hatred from whites, and compelled history to sing the blues. His violent demise was not his nor ours, but America's dream come true. Meritorious manumission for all the so-called patriots, or as I like to call them, Uncle Tom Brady's. Or we're told to pack our shit and leave. Before Eric Gardner, millions of naked voices from below the ship's deck cried, I can't breathe. And there goes Uncle Remus, making out like Cupid. That Negro's so stupid, so weak, and always repeating and repeating and repeating. America, I love you. So. Thank you. Next one. They said I couldn't bloom, so I planted some seeds. I ain't never been affiliated with the Bloods, but I'm willing to bleed. I ain't never been locked up, and I'm willing to share the keys. I'm from the city of thieves, where black lives were stolen by the blue wall of violence and its mascot, the dishonorable Rudolph Giuliani. Remember how Rudy was in heaven when the police let the bullets fly? And when we responded by raising hell, he responded by raising lives. Because when the pressure's on, that's when the pressure will rise. But if our most precious don't live, then A will die for sure. I'm planting seeds. I'll master race of races 2 degrees. A mind to nourish and flourish, and a heart to do good deeds. But I won't, I can't, and I will never be at ease until Rudy's on his knees. The solution's retribution with no mercy. The bullet count was 41. You pretended this young man had a gun. It took place under the moon because fam wasn't your son. You covered up in blue. You said crime in New York is through. Well, who's safe from you? Here's what, Diallo, I'ma do. Point blank, I lead the creme de la creme. We navigated many miles, and every place that we blessed, we crest and made shine like a gem. Never on bending knees, because my boys are men. You'll call us the forgotten ones, because your sovereignty is through. So take a good look at the seeds, the reflections of my crew, and I promise you, you will have never forgotten one.
Wow.
Since announcing your desire to white out all traces, since announcing your desire to white out all traces of America's first and only black president, the Kenyan, you've been talking about building a wall. So one must believe that your wall has been under construction since before you were conceived. Probably broke ground the same day your clan-loving father Fred got in bed with the KKK. Now, Kanye calls you president. I call you a hate crime, because there's inherently racist stains on the walls of your hateful mind, and deplorable runs through your veins. It used to look like whack graffiti. Now it smells like crack cocaine, giving it your base, affording you the rain to storm. But ask the legendary Lena Horne, and she gonna cuss, talking about Stormy Daniels, hold on, my bad, talking about stormy weather and shit to us. America, the nation of walls, the manifestation of walls, so visual that we can see them with closed eyes, like exposed lies, and always Jim Crow-ified. And to think that an American president once had the gall to tell Berlin, Germany to tear down their wall while keeping America's walls of privilege prominent.
Yeah.
Like all those corny-ass Confederate monuments. Yeah. Now, I suppose a wall represents security, not yours. Your U.S. walls represent insecurity. That's why you keep talking about building a wall, because you're afraid. Like your father was afraid. Like your forefathers were afraid. Like your founding fathers were afraid that the consequence of the original sin was so threatening that there will come a time of reckoning. After all, before the Kenyan, you stood unchallenged, generation after generation atop America's social, political, and legal hierarchy. A monarchy not made of blood, but racially identified, with a veneer of white skin. Your grab and pussy privilege personified. Yeah. And the power of America's racial caste system is so sick and so slick that it tricks some Negroes into protecting it. Now, going against one's own interest is an interesting gamble for a Sambo. But when the Sambo/sellout has nothing left to sell, the sellout/devil's advocate has no place to go but hell. So when my brothers/my niggas rebel, the walls become a holding cell is by design. Because we're taught to stay in line, unable to opine, reduced to navigating landmines, searching for some sign, praying to the divine. Now you can't find your spine, which makes you benign, so you're resigned to waiting for your time to shine, feeling diminished, and unable to reach the finish line. And worst of all, our children press rewind. Some, not all, are left in the days because we're raised in the maze of walls. So talking about building a new wall is old. It's not novel, it's factual. So we need to stop acting like we can't see shit, like being blind is natural. Like we're walking around in total darkness, unable to see or unable to grasp what is right in front of us. Our DNA equipped us with night vision. Willie Lynch attempted to equip our descendants with white vision, causing some of us to see ourselves through the eyes of white supremacy, drowning our self-hate with a taste for Hennessy, hung over after 2 election cycles because we really thought that we made it. But after 8 years of complacency left the vacancy, the whack graffiti that was always on the wall now grows. Time to turn on the night vision. Birtherism, baseless. The Tea Party, tasteless. The alt-right is wrong and make America great again is racist. Because America has never been greater for black people than it is now. And that's disturbing. Because our normal would be considered a catastrophic doom for the group Ta-Nehisi Coates refers to as the bloody heirloom, white people. And restoring the heirloom to the hierarchy of the land and never intended for its cargo, for its 3/5, for its property, to propagate, to legislate, and to elevate as the masses plan. Turn on your night vision. America is not Germany, and the wall is not hyperbole. The walls come in small, medium, large, extra large, plus sizes, and big and tall. Made of bones, blood, and flesh. You can bet American walls never fall. They just reset again. Turn on your night vision and focus. Don't fuss. Trust your DNA. Can you see the walls? White America's living lies. That's right. The walls are an acronym. Can you see the U.S. walls now? That's right. The walls are us.
That's right. Yes.
Last one, y'all. This one's personal.
The tears.
Ayanna Stanley Jones was a young African-American girl from Detroit, Michigan. On July 20th, 2010, the Detroit Police Department Special Response Team shot and killed Ayanna while she slept on a sofa with her grandmother sitting right next to her. Did you shed a tear? Like the way eyes water when you cut open an onion, and no matter what you do, and no matter how often you try, you can't stop your eyes from watering? Like no matter what we do, and no matter how often we die, we can't stop the police from slaughtering us? Can you shed a tear? I can only imagine what a privilege it must be that you can't even imagine our reality. Is that why you can't shed a tear? Ayanna Stanley Jones will never know 8 years. It's said 7 is supposed to be lucky, if only it were bulletproof. Would you have told Ayanna that her black life mattered, or would you have told her the truth? Would you have told Ayanna that America's pro-life, except when it comes to black youth, except when it comes to black adults, except when it comes to melanin? Would you have told Ayanna that America never valued black lives, except when it came to selling them? The truth is uncomfortable. Can you shed a tear? Ayanna passed the same year as Obamacare. Did Obamacare? Do young black lives in America have a prayer? When you can read your children a bedtime story, like Sleeping Beauty or nursery rhyme, while our children become a bedtime story called Sleeping Beauty and the Police, a real life nursery crime? The truth is uncomfortable. Lies are comfortable. The Joneses thought that the sofa that Ayanna slept on with her grandmother by her side was comfortable. Now, Ayanna's forever 7, and her forever home is forever heaven. And Ayanna is not comfortable. Ayanna's grandmother will never again be comfortable, and Ayanna's people are not comfortable, are you? Ayanna's people, are you comfortable? Does Ayanna's killer's blue life matter more, or should his forever home be a cage? Are you willing to throw the book at him, or turn the page? Page 5 says that police are allowed to shoot on all black people when they're afraid. Page 11 mandates a leave of absence and desk duty that entitles police who shoot on all black people to get paid. Does that make you enraged? When you envision a flashbang grenade that set fire to the Hannah Montana blanket that covered a sleeping Ayanna during the botch raid, and the awful ache we feel in our gut when we look at the school photo of a beautiful, precious, and innocent Ayanna with her brown eyes and braids that made this grown man cry? The way this nation would cry if only Ayanna had looked like the cartoon character she posed in front of with their blonde hair and blue eyes? Are your eyes bloodshot? Like the blood caused by a shot that leaves a permanent stain that cannot be removed by American bleaching, by the national anthem, by the Pledge of Allegiance, by the deceit, the deception, and the duplicity that America's teaching us? While all that Ayanna Stanley Jones was doing was sleeping while black. And all that Tamir Rice was doing was playing on the playground while black. And all that Jordan Davis was doing was hanging out with his friends while black. America plays follow the leaders, and you already know how the leaders react. They look at our youngins through the prism of the guilty lens, the onus being that, somehow, each and every one of these little niggas had it coming, facts. Even when Philandro Castile complied, a terrified worst responder responded and Philandro died, and another part of us dies, and the American flag flies, and Lady Liberty rolls her eyes, and the American justice system justifies, all while black America continues to ask, why? The answer's obvious. It's the American lie. America's, you can't shed a tear when your heart valves are dry. America's comfortable. So my fellow Americans, before we heed the need to surrender, on the playground, in your vehicle, or on your sofa, please remember, the police / the slave patrol was not created to serve and protect us. The police / the slave patrol was created to kill and collect us. Now that is uncomfortable. Thank you. And my recital was meant to make you feel uncomfortable. Thanks again.
Give it up for Pay-treeoddtic, y'all.